So in the previous video that we had shot, we had created a database, you can say here, in the phpMyAdmin. So if you're using XAMPP, that is what I recommend. Okay, if you want, you can also install MySQL server and stuff like that directly, and you can use MySQL workbench as well for managing the database part. Okay, but here I am using phpMyAdmin because that's very easy to use, that is what I think. Okay, and will not be focusing now on queries and stuff, like creation queries and stuff. That we can cover in some other video, but for now we will be focusing on connecting the database. Okay, so here essentially when you write this or change this thing, you can say, if you connect here, see here, port number is 3306, which is the default port for MySQL. Here the DB connection is MySQL, the DB host is 127.0.0.1. so if you are using a remote host, or you can say a remote connection, you should provide the IP address of that place here. Okay, so that is what we can do here, and here it is the database name, that is the first LaraDB which we have created here. See, you can see here first LaraDB, and the user ID password of that thing. So username is root, and password, we do not have any password because this is a local machine. Whenever you are deploying to a production machine, you need to remember to set a password for that thing. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll first create a simple controller. Okay, so whenever you are connecting database to Laravel, okay, remember you need to, first step is to create a controller first. Okay, so php artisan make controller. Okay, so this is the command, php artisan make controller, and name of the controller. So we'll name it as what we are creating. We'll create a test controller. Okay, test controller. Okay, and see, it has created a controller, created successfully. So where we will find this controller? So that controller will be inside app http controllers. See here, it will be here. Okay, so this is the base controller, and this will be the controller that we'll be using. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to write functions inside this controller to access the database. Okay, so what I will write here is public function test function. Okay, and here I will write, you can say, first I will take a variable. Okay, data is equals to the db prefix. Okay, so db is a class, you can say, in Laravel. It's an inbuilt class which will allow us to fetch data from the database. Okay, so here I write the select query. Okay, so here you would see that I have not created any database, or you can see the tables inside the database. So what I will do is I will create a test table. So I'll just add some random columns to that thing. Okay, test ID, test name, test description, like 50 characters, text. Okay, sorry, text, and that's it. Just make it a primary key and keep it as an auto incremented row, so that you don't need to pass that value. Okay, and we are done here. So let's just pass some random values to this thing. Test 1, this is test 1. Okay, I will just save this thing, and I will insert another thing here, test 2, and this is test 2. Okay, so I've just inserted some random values here so that we can use it as a test data while we are fetching it. Okay, so what I will write here is select star from test table. Okay, so now writing the functions, first step is creating the controller. After that you need to write a function inside the controller which will do whatever database operations you want. Okay, we'll just return this data here, return dollar data. Okay. The third step is linking our function into the routes. Okay, so routes are present at two locations. One is the API route and another one is the web route. Okay, we'll link it at both the places. Okay, just so that we get to know how it works. Route get, sorry, and we'll name it as pull test. Okay, and we'll put the square brackets around this thing, and test controller class. So this is the usual syntax of this thing, and here we need to write only the name of the function, no parentheses, nothing. Okay, just the name of the function, and we are good to go. Just remember to put the import statements here. Okay, so where it is placed, you can directly copy it from the namespace here. This is the namespace for that thing. So here we copy the namespace, and after that we write test controllers here. Okay, so the namespace is the path that you should give here. Use app http controllers. Okay, app http controllers is the namespace, and the name of our file is test controller. Okay, so here we have added this thing, and after that we'll add the same thing here as well. Okay, what is the difference between the two, that we'll see shortly. Okay, let me just run this thing. Let's serve. Okay, so it's up and running. Okay, so we'll put this path here alongside this thing. Okay, so now it will give us some error. We'll see what it is. See here, DB is not defined. Okay, so DB is not defined here. See here, so the DB class, what we could do is, if you don't know how to find where which class is placed inside the vendor, okay, then what you could do is just simply do a Google search, DB namespace Laravel. Okay, see here, it will provide you with the path of that thing. See here, illuminate, support, facades, DB. Okay, so how you write it? See here, use illuminate. Okay, illuminate, then it was support, then it was facets and DB. Okay, so let's just check once again. Yeah, so we are done, and now if you come here and refresh this page, see, this is showing the data that we inserted in this page into a JSON format. Okay, so currently we are running the web listing here, so it is running from the web.php. okay, this thing. So whenever we want to run with api.php, we need to add a API prefix before the final path. Okay, see here, it will say test controller does not exist. I purposely didn't add the test controller in the API part, so that you can get the difference between the two. See here, so that you can understand that we are running on two different URLs. See, so here also you need to copy this path and you need to place it here. Okay, and it should be good to go here as well. See, same thing, but the route is different. So whenever you are rendering front end pages or anything that is to be rendered directly to the front end, you will be using the web routes, and the API routes are predominantly reserved for APIs. Whenever you need to pass data via JSON or any sort of binary data or serialized data or that sort of a thing. Okay, so that's it for this video. In the next video we'll see how we can structure it properly, the database, and we would do the remaining operations as well. This was a simple select operation. We will try insert, update, delete as well. Okay, thank you.